So throw your hands up high. We're about to show you why they fear us. Here comes the battle cry. Here comes the battle cry. It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to get crazy. It's gonna be loud. This is our house. We do what we wanna. We'll blow the roof off. Everybody's coming. It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to get. It's about to get. It's about to get crazy. It's about to get crazy.
I've been running from 9 to 5, been biting my tongue for all this time. Won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. So I woke up, sun in my eyes, forgot all about what I did last night. What I do, remember that it was real, real life. Talks about me are never good. I don't live like the way that I should. Oh well, I'm in for some fun tonight. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, 'cause you and I, we could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's a time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our special GoPro Accelerator Monday bonus training. And today, I've got a special guest for you. I'm just going to let him do his thing. We had our Next Level Mastermind event here at the house over the course of last Thursday, Friday. And, you know, multiple $1 million a year earners from all over the world were here sharing ideas. It was great. Danien and Stefania, you heard from Stefania. She was one of the first ones, right?
Yeah.
Stefania is the other half of this dynamic duo, but Danien Feier is, he's most famous inside of the network marketing pro community as the guy who went from $6,000 a month to 90-some thousand dollars in less than 60 days?
55 days, yeah.
55 days. Utilizing some of the strategies that we talked about, specifically what we call the Insanity Boot Camp, which you all have access to, the Insanity Boot Camp inside of the Learning Resource Center. So Danien is going to talk to you today. Next week, I'll just let you know Jackie Wilson is going to be talking to you about how to get your mindset right on how to be more successful in network marketing. But Danien is going to train your butts off today. So be ready to take some notes. Getting access to this type of wisdom, between he and his wife, they make many millions of dollars a year in network marketing commissions. Success leaves clues. They know what they're doing. And he's here to provide this to you out of the goodness of his heart. So if you take the information, I want you to put yourself in the shoes he was in. He was ready for a breakthrough. He got the information. He had an incredible breakthrough. His life's never been the same. Now his life is an incredible situation. If you're ready for a breakthrough, if you'll take the information he's going to give you, your life can never be the same if you will take the information and take action. So with no further ado, I'll let Danien go after it and enjoy.
Thank you very much, Eric. Man, what an honor to be introduced by the Grand Master of Network Marketing here. And I'm actually at his studio right now at his house. Really, really honored to be able to contribute today, to speak with you guys. I know that every single member of the Accelerator Group is highly, highly dedicated. You all made a big commitment to be part of this group, and I really congratulate you to be here. It's the best thing. It's the best investment you could have done. And I know you're going to take a lot of value from today's training, for sure. Best thing about this training, I would say, it's a true story, right? And I'm going to share with you my story just as we go along the way. And also, we will specify some of the nuggets, some of the breakthrough learnings that I was able to extract from the experiences. Because, see, the best part, to start with this, connecting to what Eric said about going from $5,000 to $6,000 to $100,000. I'm going to tell you everything about how I did that. This is already many years ago. That was like 8 years ago. And my life has never been the same since, for not specifically the reason that I made a ton of money in those 55 days, which is great, but that I learned something. And what I learned was, if you do it once, you can do it twice. If you do it twice, you could do it 3 times. If you could do it 3 times, you can do it all over again. Think about anything that you've done. You probably feel like you can do it again. The reason why it is so difficult sometimes to break through network marketing is because you haven't done it yet. You want to reach that, I don't know, whatever magical number is, right? You want to get to 10,000, you want to get to 20,000, you want to get to 50,000. But if you've never been there, then it's almost like so difficult to even imagine, right? But let's back up, start from the beginning. All I want to tell you, I did 4 runs in my life, 4 90-day runs in my life, and all of them have been radically successful. I'm talking from 5 to 100,000. That was the first one. Jumping 7 ranks, that was another one. Last year, I grew my business from basically where I was, which was already a multi-million-dollar business, every single month by 400% in the period of less than 90 days. So I'm not talking about a little bit of increases when I do these runs, but I'm talking about shifting the atmosphere type of results. And if you're ready for that, put a number 1 in the chat. I want to see if you guys are listening, if you guys are there, put number 1 in the chat. We're going to talk about radical breakthrough. And of course, for radical breakthrough, we need radical duplication. And here's where this story starts. You see, when I got into network marketing, it was really fueled by a dream, fueled by the dream of getting freedom, being able to travel, being able to, not have limitations when it comes to financials. And for those of you that know my story, I don't know if you do, but I started really, really, really at the very, very beginning. When I was at my first event, I was 18 years old, and I couldn't even afford a big starter kit. In fact, it was interesting. My sponsor, she was from the internet, right? She never met me. I was just this young kid signing up for the 2-day training. And I went there, and I was so excited. I mean, my biggest fear at the first event was that I'm just dreaming, that it's not real. I wasn't a big skeptic. I was just in awe and mesmerized by the idea that there is a true business, that I can learn, that I get, the opportunity. Because my background, my mom works in a kindergarten, my dad's an engineer. Everything was very normal. My parents were very young also. So we were a young family, not having a lot of money. I remember our Christmas gifts, I got a pack of pasta or a pizza cutter or maybe a shampoo. My first, my pocket money, it was like 50 cents a week, and we made like a little book and wrote it down. I'm just explaining that to you so you kind of get an understanding where I started from. I didn't start with this multi-million-dollar mindset. In fact, I thought that the biggest catch in network marketing is, haha, of course it's going to be hard because the product's so expensive, because I thought, who in the world's going to buy a shampoo for $20, $30, right, for example? Because the shampoo we're buying was $2. And so anyway, so I really had to learn a lot. I really had to grow a lot. And anyways, at that first event, so I was all excited, called up my sponsor, and she's like, amazing, so you're going to get started? And me, for sure. She's like, you're going to build a big business. I said, bet, I'm going to build a huge business. She's like, great. So the biggest pack's $4,000. You're going to get started with this? And I said, no, not really. And then she said, oh, okay, no worries. There's like another one called Success Builders, $1,000. That's also a good alternative. Go with that. And I said, well, the problem is I don't even have $200 in my bank account, and I already had to spend $75 to be at the event. I had to buy my train ticket to get here. So I really just started with a box with a paper contract in it. And the guy at the event, he said, it was an American guy, and he said, and the meeting was in Germany, by the way, in Frankfurt. And so he said, in order to be successful, you got to use your products. You got to use your products. And I said, man, I can't afford the product. There was one weight loss program as part of the initial starter box, and I couldn't use it because I had to sell it. If not, my whole capital would have been gone. So I bought a pack of protein bars. I don't know if you know the story, but it's really important, I feel, to hear it, to really understand how network marketing can change anything you believe in, can change your mindset, your reality, your income levels. I'm going to tell you some crazy stories. We have a lot of time today. Eric told me do as long as you want, and I'm going to do that. I hope you got some time too. You're in for a treat, that's for sure. So anyway, so buy these protein bars, okay? And I'll never forget, $14.71, 12 protein bars. Still felt crazy expensive, more than $1 a bar, right? And I said, okay, let's put some target. And back then, think about that was pre-Facebook. I mean, at least anybody was using Facebook. So I had little paper flyers where I was looking for people to lose weight or looking for people, wanting to work from home. And I went from community to community, put these into the mailboxes of people's homes. And at some point, everybody had a flyer. And then I took the bus to another city and I went there and I put the flyers and I drove back. And then people left a message on my voicemail. And then again, I took the bus the next day to go and meet with the 2-3 women that called and they wanted to see the program and all that. And so what I did is I did like a little contract with myself. Every time I put 1,000 flyers into, like when I pass 1,000 homes, I will have one protein bar. I'll have one protein bar, and I sat in my room and I celebrated it like fork and knife, and I was using my product. So I was so proud. I was so excited. I was so grateful. For me, thinking back today, it's just absolutely crazy on how everything has turned out. But what I have to say is I always had that feeling of gratitude for this opportunity, this gratitude for network marketing, and I hope you feel the same way, because it is incredible. And now, I mean, fast forward, 16 years have passed. What a time to be alive, guys, right now, with technology, with the internet, being able to be, connected on Zoom, home virtual conferences, meetings, Clubhouse, social media. I mean, it's a whole new day for network marketing. And I also think the future is going to be even more crazy, because if you just think about just these few years back, we used to like type on the phone and, talk to people. A few years back then, you were like circling the phone to dial. And now everything's moving towards virtual reality. We're going to be able to have these meetings in a virtual atmosphere, really talking to each other, almost like face-to-face, with barriers of distance and language disappearing. Now today we have 2 translators doing the simultaneous translation. Really, really grateful for you guys. Thank you. In the future, this is not going to be required. In the future, we will have AI, artificial intelligence, translating us. So imagine you can meet with a guy from China and another guy from Zimbabwe in Africa, and maybe you got your friend in Canada and you're from the US and whatever, and everybody's meeting in a virtual boardroom at the top of Empire State Building, and you talk to each other on a real physical experience, but really you just sit on a chair like I'm doing right now, but you have that connectivity. Think about it. This is not craziness. A few years ago, people would have said, wow, Danny, what are you talking about? You know this is reality. You know this is happening. In fact, my son He has these Oculus Rift virtual reality glasses. If you're a parent and your kids have it and you never tried it, do it. It's gonna scare the heck out of you because it is so real. Like your mind gets tricked to be in a different room. And the reason why all that matters is because our business is built upon communication. It's built upon leverage. It's built upon influence. It's built upon, transferring passion and enthusiasm. And you remember also Eric training every conversation's business. Every conversation's business. So what do you think is your ability and your skill and your your ability to show the products and show the plan? Is that going to be put on a bigger platform in the future or a smaller one? It's incredible. And it's definitely going to be amazing. And just for the technique, by the way, I'm getting a feedback that it's echoing. I don't know if you can do anything about that. Just wanting to mention, okay? So the future is going to be bright. It's going to be amazing. But now what you need to be your best version of yourself. And for that, you need to work hard. And if you do that, and if you learn the ability to communicate and to break through, if you sharpen your skill set here in this network marketing business, you have no idea how radically this is going to change your life. Now, going back to my story, so I was all excited and I started to work on my business. But in the beginning, I have to be very honest, I was able to sell product pretty easily. But it was a hard thing to enroll somebody into the business. And I hope you're past this point already. But if you're not, I just want you to know there is hope. Because for me, it was shocking. I was sure everybody was going to sign up with me. In fact, the first night, took a big piece of paper, wrote everybody's name down that I knew, and I became a 3-star galactic commander the first night. I woke up my parents and said, "Mom, Dad, I'm going to be a millionaire." And this really happened. Can you imagine? This really happened that I told that. And it's crazy because just the other day, my dad, we were on the phone, and he said, "Do you remember that first night when you came up from the event and you woke us up and you said you're going to be a millionaire?" It's crazy that it actually really happened. It happened different, completely unexpected, wild, with ups and downs and left and right and unforeseen changes and everything. But bottom line, it really happened. Isn't that crazy? So all these years back when we didn't believe it, you were right. I got goosebumps when he said that. So it's an exciting future ahead for you. And let's go into the training. Radical duplication, all right? So, 3 things that you need for radical duplication. And I quickly mentioned that at my speech at GoPro, but today for the Accelerator group, we're going to go real deep, so you really understand it. You really can, transmit it into your life, into your business, extract all the information so that you can really do it. So, first one is clarity. Tony Robbins says, clarity is power. I'm going to explain you why. Second one, enthusiasm, okay? You need energy. Third one, intensity. We're going to talk about all of those, and let's start with clarity. Clarity is power. I remember so many years in network marketing that I had a predominant feeling of confusion. I was confused. And I don't know if you've ever been confused, but it's not a good place to be in. When you are confused, then you are not productive. Confusion kills activity and productivity. Because, there is so many different ideas out there on how to build network marketing, what to do. It's overwhelming. People teach different things. In fact, in my business all these years back, it felt like even my upline had no clue. So everybody was kind of like teaching the idea of the week and the idea of the month. And oh my God, this guy just got results by going to doctor's offices. So everybody now has to go to doctor's offices and, and talk to these guys. And then next week, somebody did LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, LinkedIn, that's great. Now everybody was training on LinkedIn, and then 2 weeks later they did I don't know what, right? Cosmetic demos and parties, and it got to the point where I just didn't know what I was doing. And then people were teaching me, hey, if you do home meetings, make sure there is going to be 7 people at the home meeting. 7 is a perfect number. It's not too big, it's not too small. I'm thinking, okay, 7. Well, 7. How about a couple? Oh, couple counts as 1. Okay, fine. So 7, but could be more if they're a couple. All right. So I did do the home meeting, and I got 4 people show up, and I was feeling, man, I'm doing it wrong. Like I just got 4 people, and then I should have really had 7 and all of that. It might sound stupid to some of you guys, but I hope can anybody identify that sometimes you feel confused on what to do and what's the next step and all of that? Okay, thank you for the love. I'm not the only idiot, that kind of didn't really understand. It's a terrible place to be in. Here's what I learned today, by the way, just to kind of comment on the 7 people. It doesn't matter. An old upline told me, don't do one-on-ones. Don't do one-on-ones. They don't duplicate. I mean, think about it. You can talk to a group. You got leverage. It's so much better. Yeah, I get it, but if you don't have a group, talk to one person. It doesn't matter. A meeting is better than no meeting. Write that down. A meeting is better than no meeting. I don't care if you do it in Starbucks. I don't care if you do it at home. I don't care if it's a 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 5-on-1, 7-on-3, 5-on-16. It doesn't really matter, okay? A meeting is a meeting. In a boardroom, in a virtual room, it doesn't even matter. What matters is we're talking to people. You see, I found that systems they can be a guideline, but it's always important to go a level above that and ask yourself, what is the intention of the system? So let's say if somebody is describing, or your organization, your upline, or your company is describing you a certain way of how to meet people or how to talk to people, that is great, but don't get confused, or if you do it, like if you have a little bit different approach. Do you know what I'm trying to say? What is important that you are talking to people? What is important that you do have these conversations? Same thing when it comes to like meetings, for example. Should I use this, extra slide or not? Or is it better? What's a better meeting? Is it better 45 minutes, or is it an hour, or is it like 2 hours? Oh my God, what if the meeting's too long? Then it will not duplicate. Like, yes, we can talk about all these things, and I certainly would have an opinion, and other people too, and probably a 10 to shorter is better at some point. But really, honestly, that's not what matters, in my opinion. What matters is that you do one meeting, and then after that you do the next meeting as fast as you can, and then you do the next meeting as fast as you can, and so that you duplicate the concept of talking to people, rather than it needs to be a 45-minute presentation with 17.6 slides, and you need to have exactly 3 speakers, not 2, not 1. Like, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, okay? So you want to empower activity. And yes, you can give a red line, like a certain, ideal way of doing it. But then if somebody goes a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, I find that completely okay. But if then people at some point stop having results, then you can say, hey, why don't you come back to the center line? Here's how we do it. This is what we do, right? And what you teach is just simple, clear steps. I want to tell you a story about this. So, because check this out. I was at some point in network marketing for about 8 years, okay? And at this point, 8 years in it. So, of course, at some point, I figured out how to enroll some people, and I figured out how, find customers. I told you that already. But what I couldn't figure out was duplication. At the first event, it was like, okay, you bring 3, and then they bring 3, and then they bring 3, and then they bring 3, and it's like, 3, 9, 27, 81. Anybody tell me if it works like this? In your company, your business, does it work like this? I tried it, doesn't work. You kind of get your 3, and then like, come on guys, now you get your 3. And they're not doing it. So what do? Sponsor another 3 hoping they do it? Or are you going to just kick them until they do it? I think at some point, the really dedicated of all of us, then we signed up some 3 for them. Like, okay, come on, I gave you your 3. Now come and go duplicate it. And it just doesn't work. I remember after my first 4 years, I had about 71 people in my business. It was awesome. About 64 of them were the dead walking, not doing anything. So it's a disaster. And that's also why the income wasn't stable, right? There was one good month and then boom, breakdown. And there was another good month and a good breakdown, because there was no clarity for people what to do. And when we come to clarity, I'm going to say something that you've heard a million times, which is keep it simple. Keep it simple. KISS formula. Keep it stupid simple. Or keep it, no, is that right? Yeah, keep it stupid simple. Anyways, it didn't feel simple though. It never felt simple to me. I felt it was very, very, very complicated. If it feels super simple to you, can you please let me know? I mean, if it does, you probably make $1 million a year, but if you don't, then it's not so simple, right? Isn't it constantly every day that we're like, oh my God, what do I have to do? How can I push myself? How can I get my team to do stuff? How to resolve this conflict? And all. It wasn't simple. And 8 years in it, biggest check, $7,000, $8,000. Had a lot of troubles in my story. I wrote a book if you want to read it. Okay, it's on Amazon. It's called History in the Making, From Dream to Reality in Network Marketing. And that's really what it is. It was a dream and it became reality, and the reality became better than the dream. And I'm going to talk about that in the end. But point is, when I signed up with my sponsor, building this team that I have today, which was in 2010, or about 11 years ago, he told me, because he did one thing. He enrolled 34 people. And just to kind of recap that, in his first year, he enrolled 34 people. That is not much. At that point, I kind of checked, and I was like, amazing. I enrolled about 10 times these people. I enrolled about 340 people in these 8 years, and I got to $7,000 to $8,000, and this guy enrolled 34 people, but he had more than 6,000 to 7,000 in his downline after 1 year and was making $1 million a year, and was the youngest $1 million earner in our company in 2010. He was 26 years old, a little bit like me. His background was real estate, a little bit like me. By the way, his name's Calvin Becerra. You might have heard him. He spoke at GoPro as well. And I was just like, man, how do you do that? I don't get it. Like, explain to me, how do you get that duplication going? Because I never could. And he said, you need a clear system. You need clear steps for people to follow. And our steps, just to give you an idea, and you can like adapt that for your company, for your pay plan. It's so easy, you will immediately understand. So we were teaching just a 5-step kind of duplication pattern. The first step is to sign up. Sign up in the company, make your account, right? Second step is buy your own package, like your own starter pack, your product pack, whatever, so that you can use your products, be product of the products. Third step, enroll in the AutoShip, Smart Delivery, whatever type of monthly, qualification program. Go out, get 2 people, help them to do exactly the same steps, and then when they did that, help those to do the same. That's it, just those 5 points. It's like, get in, buy a pack, get on AutoShip, sponsor 2, and then help them do the same thing. And when he explained me that, I was like, come on, bro. I've been doing network marketing for 8 years. That is not the magic that I was expecting. I mean, how many of you are disappointed right now? I was so disappointed. So let me repeat again. First one, sign up. Second one, buy your pack. Third one, to activate your monthly, whatever it is in your company, you have to check your pay plan. In our, it was just like you had to make a monthly order. So you like put your credit card on file, get 2 people, do the same thing, help them to repeat that. Done. Okay. Again, you have to adjust that. It's not necessarily exactly what you have to do. I'm not trying to like train you on how to work your comp plan. All that I'm trying to tell you is that was a very simple thing. It could be different points for you guys. Could be different steps. You consult with your upline, your leaders, and you just really think, okay, what is think about the ideal distributor. Just almost like imagine it was a computer program. Just take the human out of the equation for just a second and say, okay, what would I want the perfect person to do? Oh, well, sign up is a good idea, right? So second, make the investment, whatever the start is, like a good starter pack, whatever kind of activity requirement there is. And then get 2 people, which is really the foundation of duplication in any company. I mean, if you get in and you bring 2, here you start your duplication. And if you want to bring 3, fine, right? Whatever, if that makes sense in your plan. And then you got to somehow repeat that process. So, and again, I was talking to him, I said, okay, that makes sense. And he's like, can you do it? I said, yeah, I can do it like tonight if you want, but that is really what you did? And he said, yes, that's what I did. I said, tell me that one more time because I don't get it. He said, bro, forget everything you know and trust me. And for 1 year, do nothing but this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll have a bigger team you ever had. I said, all right, I'm going to do it. And if it doesn't work, it's your fault. Okay, so I got started. And I was calling people and I said, listen, I met this guy. He made $1 million network marketing. To be honest, I don't even care if you like network marketing or not. You'd be crazy to not look at how he does it because you're going to freak out if I shared with you. You and me, we can both do it. And so we sat down and I called 100 people. 34 of them showed up. Out of the 34, I showed the plan, signed up 7. Okay? Normal number, 7 out of 100. And those 7 that I had, we went to work and we decided to do the first 100 meetings in the first 100 days. So we said 100 days, 100 meetings. 100 days, 100 meetings. There's some kind of power to the daily intensity. So we did that, and within 3 weeks, we were 100 people. And it was interesting because in the beginning, people said, oh my God, you're never going to find people that do this crazy network marketing, whatever. And 3 weeks later, we had 100. See, I called 100, only 7 signed up, but from the 7, we were back to 100 that paid with a credit card, a sign-up pack after just 3 weeks. After 10 weeks, we were more than 600 people. After 9 months, I was making $10,000 a month for the first time in my life. 9 months later, $10,000. Movie money at that point for me. Impossible money at that point for me. No one that I ever saw made that kind of money. And it was just because of clarity. I want to mention just one more time because there's so many people from so many different companies online here. Guys, it can be different for you. Maybe you want to integrate, get your first 2 customers. Maybe there is share a certain program. It doesn't really matter. In fact, what we did, this was just for pure duplication of the organization. The whole customer part was a separate part, okay? But I want to talk to you just about how to get your organization to grow, like how to have that, boom, 1,000 people more in your business, you don't even know where they come from. 10,000 people in your business, you don't know where they come from. Do you know if I would just count the accounts, like just the accounts that was ever signed up in my organization, from that day 10 years ago until now, I just crossed 1 million accounts in my downline. 1 million. Okay? So I really believe I know what I'm talking about. And again, don't get confused. Don't think I'm like missing things out. I'm just trying to give you a certain red line that whatever makes sense in your business, in your plan, in your community, you need to make it simple. Write that down. Make it simple. Number 2, be specific. Maybe make 5 steps or 10 steps or 8 steps or whatever. Again, consult with your upline. Don't get confused. This is to provide clarity, not confusion, okay? Ask yourself in your system, in your environment, what would the perfect distributor do? Like what would be the technical steps? Write them down. And then make sure it is written down and it is distributed within your teams. So everybody that comes in doesn't have to ask, oh my God, what do I have to do now? You say, look, this is how you get started. And really, you know what that is, guys? That's really the core rank. It should be the step-by-step pattern of what somebody has to do to start right and then to build until core rank, as Eric Worre is teaching. Because still today, 11 years later, that in our organization, our business, that's the core rank. So it's really clear and it's always the same. Everybody's saying the same thing. It doesn't matter who's your upline, doesn't matter who's your sponsor, doesn't matter if they go to the event, if they go to the virtual, whatever. It doesn't matter if they have a sponsor that doesn't even know anything, but he says, look, I don't really know anything, but that's the getting started like type of first step thing. Why don't you try that, right? And then we would check on that, and people who did it, we recognize them, and we put a little fire, and even like it's like make them heroes, and then let them tell their stories. And because it was so simple, like think about that. What we did, for example, at the first events, I remember, was like, okay, all you have to do in this business is do 5 steps, and then repeat them, repeat them, repeat them. So do you think you can do it? Do you know 2 people? How many of you don't know 2 people? Okay, maybe smile a little bit more. People are friendly, like just talk to people. But to be honest, like let's say somebody was struggling at step number 4 for some reason. Oh man, I did 1, 2, 3. I'm really struggling at step number 4, whatever that is, right? And then we said, okay, how many of you in the room already did step number 4? Would you mind standing up? Okay, give a huge applause to all these people did, step number 4. You can do the same thing online, by the way. I'm talking a few years back, right? And then I said, hey, why don't we pass on the mic? And everybody says, how did you do step 4? Did you have any challenges? How did you overcome it? And then just by simply sharing stories, people found new idea, new inspiration, how to overcome challenges and all of that. And it's simple stuff, guys. Sometimes it's like, oh, I can't really go on smart delivery because I really don't have a credit card and my bank won't give me one. And then somebody said, dude, I went to the gas station and I just got a debit card. and then people are like, oh, really? You can do that? And you think, duh, how do you not know that, right? You will be shocked. Don't ever take any information for granted. Always do it so that if people know absolutely nothing, they can follow and they can learn, they can get inspired. You get a little bit of an idea what I mean when I say clarity? Clear, specific steps that make sense in your organization, what to do from start, great positioning to reach core rank, right? Makes sense. And I don't think that's confusing to anybody, right? It should be really, really clear. And it should also really, really nicely integrate with everything that you guys are doing, because at the end of the day, if you're trying to really pump core rank, then it makes sense to have a clear roadmap on how to get there. That's what I mean by clarity. As simple as that. And you have to write it down, because if it's not written down, if people can't copy and paste the steps on their whatever social or something, or maybe you even make a training video about the 5 steps or 10 steps or 8 or whatever, that is the first thing that helped me to duplicate like never before. Second thing is enthusiasm. Okay, 80% of what you do 80% of, like in a conversation, if people meet, okay, who's going to win? The person with a higher energy. 80% of what you say is not what you say, but how you say it. So 80% is how you say it, 20% is what you say. Energy is contagious. This is an emotional business. You have a fire inside you, you know, like my name, Danien, Feier, okay? You have that fire inside you, and you have to light it up in someone else. And if you're not excited, how can that transmit to other people? It is important that you are enthusiastic, because some people, I'm telling you, the biggest problem is they just have too little energy. It is difficult to get a plane off the ground without energy. It is difficult to create excitement without energy. It is difficult to get attention without energy. If you do videos, if you communicate, if you do voice messages, if you, I don't know, are part of a conversation or whatever, people need to know that you're excited. They need to feel it. And there's a really, really good test for that. Imagine people wouldn't speak the language that you speak. Like, let's say somebody's listening to you and they really only speak Russian, and you really only speak English, and they really don't understand you. But if they would just listen to you anyways, they don't understand the words, but they understand how you say it. They understand the passion that you put in. And there is something about that even if you listen to someone and you don't understand anything, something draws you to it without understanding the words. Some of you guys are on translation right now. You can't really understand what I say. You need to wait for the translation to come in. But I hope that when you just look at me and you just listen, you can feel there's something really, really special. Can you feel it? Please tell me you can feel it. Because that is really what it is. It is the energy. It is the enthusiasm. That is what's going to give you the fuel to create momentum. So, write this down. There is no growth without the required energy. There is no growth without the required energy. In fact, in life, nothing moves without energy. It is really, really important, guys. Now, the thing about enthusiasm is that it's something that, it's an emotion. Let's be a little bit more specific here. So it's an emotion, first of all. And, you know, emotions are usually temporary. Sometimes we feel great. Sometimes we feel not so great. Sometimes we're super enthusiastic if everything goes well. But then sometimes things don't go so well, and then, you know, you're not so excited. And, you know, what I'm not talking to you guys about is being excited when everything is great. Because being excited when you just had 5 signups, that is not leadership. That's normal. That is normal. If you're not excited then you're depressed, okay? And so the point is, what I'm talking about when I talk to you guys about being excited, I almost feel like I always say I love GoPro. The GoPro book for us in our organization is like, it's like the Bible for our business. Apart from the fact that the Bible is the most important book in the world, but in terms of like the business, like GoPro really helped me in my organization. Like everybody read GoPro, everybody lives GoPro, our whole organization, every single member in my team, like we're living, eating, breathing the GoPro principles. And that's why I'm very, very grateful to Eric Worre, not just for the book, but for the whole platform. What he has done to elevate the profession, what he has done to bring us all together, it's second to none. It is second to none. He's the Jim Rohn. He's the Jim Rohn of 2021, honestly. And it's so inspiring to see how Eric has pushed the bar. And honestly, you guys, we should do the same thing. We should do the same thing. Because I remember I was there, second GoPro, like 8-9 years ago, when there was just a few people in the room, when Eric just started out. And the journey he's done, it's inspiring to me, guys. When people ask me who inspires you today, I say Eric Worre. Eric Worre. And if they say, yeah, but I read the book, it's great, but you know, you don't know him. You don't know him. He's a monster, really is, and very grateful for that. So, but having said that, and having said that the GoPro book is the best book out there, I always feel there is just like, kind of like a hidden 8th skill that's not in the book. And that is to stay excited for the same old thing. Because it is a little bit unnatural. See, you want to have a new car. You get the car. Oh my God, it's incredible. You can't sleep. But then just a few months down the road, well, it's kind of like the new normal, right? Imagine your comp plan, your company, your comp plan, right? First day you saw it, unbelievable. This is the greatest comp plan on the planet, right? But then just a year in it is like, okay, well, if they would just fix this little part, or you know what I mean? All of a sudden, the magic disappears a little bit just for the fact that that's just how we're wired as human beings. You know, we somehow want comfort and routine, but we also want excitement and change. So it's pretty interesting. So, but what you have to do as a leader, and guys, you have to write this down. Don't forget that I said this. The leader knows how to create the emotion on demand, and the emotion. It's a tool to build your business, but it's not subject to outside circumstances, okay? This is so big, okay? So let's say if some of my leaders talk to me and they come with anything negative. You can talk to people in my team, if you know any, ask them. Ask them if they had ever had a conversation with me that was negative towards the business, that was negative towards the company, that was negative towards anything. They will not have a single example because I just simply do not participate in that conversation. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not avoiding problems, I'm not avoiding challenges. No, we'll solve them. But I will not accept being in a meeting talking about the problems for an hour. Describe me the problem, and now we can talk an hour about all the possible solutions. But I am not interested in the enhanced conversation about the problem, because at the end of the day, I need to understand what's the problem, and let's move forward and fix it. Be solutions oriented. You see, leadership shows when things are tough. Leadership shows when it's not going well. I want to give you a couple of examples here. So let's say, for example, you did 10 conversations, 10 presentations. Nobody signed up. It was a disaster. Some people stood up in the middle of the meeting. They said, oh, sorry, I just simply have to use the bathroom, and they never come back. That ever happened to you? Happened to me. Have you ever gone to a meeting and nobody showed up? Yes, I know. But have you ever gone to a meeting and even the person who organized the meeting himself didn't show up? That's also what happened to me. And lots more of these things. So my question is, how excited are you then? How's your presentation number 11? How about somebody was promising you there's going to be 200 people in this Zoom call and there's 13 people in there? I want to see your presentation then. Are you still going to do the presentation of your life? Are you still going to operate at an exceptional level no matter what? Or is your enthusiasm just fading a little bit right there? What if your company is out of stock? What if a certain product that everybody loves is out of stock? It's not coming, and you're like praying, like, please have the product come back. And the company comes to you and say, look, it's going to take 2 months. And you're like, oh no, I was hoping 3 days, right? What do? The average person would just go negative and be like, I can't believe it. Like, you guys know it's an important product. Like, why don't you have the product? Like, whatever, right? Or if you don't have that close relationship with corporate, you don't even talk to them, but then you just talk to your friends, like, what's wrong with that company? Like, they don't get their shit together. Why don't they have the product and all that? And you start that conversation. Or logistics, you know, you ordered the vanilla shake and they sent the chocolate shake and all that stuff. Guys, question. Does that really matter? If you want to influence lives and if you want to, you know, go to like, I don't know, $1 million a year, does it really matter that the company ship vanilla instead of chocolate? Really? I mean, if that's the level of your challenges and you're really stuck at that point, there's a long way you have to go. Every scenario, every situation, guys, has two sides. Every opportunity comes with a challenge. Every opportunity comes with a challenge. Every challenge comes with an opportunity is what I'm trying to say. So every challenge comes with an opportunity, right? So let's, for instance, use the example if the company doesn't have the product. You can go negative, you can go complain, or you can use the very fact that there is no product to promote it. Have you ever heard Eric say, if you can't defend, promote? If you can't defend, promote? Guys, I would set up a conference call with everybody in it. And I would have put a slide in the presentation. I would say, #1 product sold out. And I would say, guys, can you even believe it? Multi-billion-dollar business. And even they cannot keep up with the production because you guys are just monsters in selling this product. It is really, really unbelievable. People love our product. Customers love our product. It is the most scarce product to get. Have you ever tried to buy one of those beautiful watches that Eric has, the Richard Mille? Or have you ever tried to go walk into Louis Vuitton, like, you know, like this beautiful pullover, and you saw in the magazine you want to buy it, and they don't have it, and then they say, oh, we only have one piece, and we have to ship it from Turkmenistan to you to get it, and how long is it going to take? Oh, it's going to take about 8 to 10 weeks. And these companies do it on purpose. These guys do it on purpose. If you want to buy that Hermes Birkin bag, do you really think they couldn't just produce another 100,000 of those on top every month? They could, but they choose to keep it rare. So why does it work for them to create excitement, people wanting to have it, but we just go negative? That's because of our lack of leadership. That's because of our lack of using the challenge as an opportunity. In neuralistic programming, we call that reframing, okay? You reframe the situation. Sometimes what helped me also is this: nothing has a meaning but the meaning you give it. It's just a neutral fact. Okay, right now there's no product. Okay, fine. What's the meaning you give to this situation? What if you were just excited because of it? I know it seems so odd, right? But why are you not just excited because of it? Guys, no big business comes without challenges. Nothing that is huge is easy. It is absolutely normal. I've been in situations throughout my career where, I mean, for example, there was an IT problem, and whenever people placed orders, the warehouse didn't get the information. Now, that's long ago, many, many years ago, but we only found out about 2 weeks into it. And then 2 weeks into it, first people like, oh, I didn't get my products. And I was like, that's odd. Why you didn't get your product? And then more people called. All of a sudden, within like 96 hours, we have hundreds of messages. Where's my product? I don't have my product. What's going on? I was like, I can't. Oh my God, what's going on? Okay. And then we found there was this issue, but we couldn't draw the data of who ordered. So we had to like manually call the warehouse and give every single order number to them on demand when people complained, and then they could put it together and pack it and ship it and all of that stuff, okay? And some people would say, oh my God, that's a bad company. Yeah, luckily it got acquired and things got better. But see, here's the thing. I remember talking to Eric years ago. I was like, Eric, all I want is to be a network marketer. All I want is not to do corporate anymore. Like I don't want to fix shipping all day. I want to sponsor. Like it's the company's job, not my job. And Eric said, look, there's not going to be a single $1 million earner that has not gone through anything like that or different. There is nobody of absolute magnitude network marketing that hasn't seen the good, bad, and the ugly. And just understand that challenges will always arise, and the level of challenges will match your level of aspiration. If you're trying to get a little result, your challenges are going to be little. But if you're expecting huge results, better get ready for huge challenges. And if you're going through challenges right now, what I can tell you about that is stay excited. Don't forget, stay excited. Because nothing will determine your success in the future more than just keeping the energy high, staying excited. Yes, deal with the situation, solve it, take decisions, whatever these decisions have to be. But point is, stay excited. Because if you stop working, if you stop growing, if you stop solving, if you stop recruiting, then what's going to happen at some point, one way or the other, the challenge will go away, but your business is at half of what it was before, or it's gone. But someone else just continue to work. And what I have to say, what I'm proud of, I always continue to work. I always continue to be excited. I would never let my enthusiasm drop. And because my enthusiasm didn't drop, I could just keep building. And sometimes my people get annoyed, like, how can you not for once be negative? Like, just freak out for once. I'm like, I'm still pretty grateful for everything. Let's kill it, guys. And I was like, it's perfect. We got challenges. So other lines are slowing down. So now it's all about market share. Now we're going to win the market share. Oh, Christmas, everything's slow. I love it. Let's work harder. Let's double down our efforts. This is our time to win market share. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Stay excited. A leader creates the emotion that is required to build and support the business and is not subject to the outside, whatever environment. And then, oh, today I'm feeling bad because this happened. Oh, and today I'm feeling good because of that happened. And I want to give you just one more example for those of you that are very, very new in the business. Maybe you don't have these high-level discussions yet or things like that. Let's keep it very, very simple and very real. You talk to your best friend about signing up in the business. And your best friend, of course, she's excited and she's like, oh my God, this is going to be great. We're going to travel the world. We're going to do all this. And you're so excited, like she's going to start, and you can't sleep the whole night and all that, And next morning, you're still kind of like sleeping, boom. You hear that text message and you can already, have you ever been there? You can already feel it. You don't even have to open the message. Come on, tell me if anybody know what I'm talking about. You get the message and you're like, I'm like scared to read the message. Like I'm scared. And what happened? Come on, tell me what happened. She talked to her boyfriend, right? Or she talked to her husband, or she talked to her mom, or a neighbor, or all of a sudden her hamster started to talk to her, or somebody that wasn't in the room, or some friend sent her all the negative stuff that they could find on the internet about your company, or about your business, about network marketing, and she's like, look, I really thought about it, and you're like, no. and she doesn't join. How many of you hate that? I hate that. But here's what I learned. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And that's the best news you could ever, if I love to be able to give you that news right now. It doesn't matter. 10 years from now, it doesn't matter. It's nothing but a good story, maybe. Probably you already forgot, unless it's really your best friend. See, sometimes we get so bounced around with our emotions based upon the decisions or the non-decisions of others, that the problem isn't that she isn't signing up. The problem is that you're depressed for the next 5 days because of it. And even some people use good, positive things that are about to happen as a reason for inactivity. For example, ever had that? You got this amazing conversation going with this amazing, business guy, and oh my God, this is going to be huge, and they're working on everything to get everything ready the next 7 to 10 days, and it's going to be awesome. But by the 15th of the month, they're going to get started, and it's going to be huge, and you're so excited about this that all you do is talk about that. You talk about that. Oh my God, this, and is there anything else I can do for you? And like this, and you're focusing on this person, and you're doing nothing for your business. You're only focusing on this one thing supposed to happen. And then, in 11 days from now, it's not happening. And now you're depressed because it's not happening. But what's worse than that is that the last 11 days, you didn't do anything because all you did was excited for what's to come. So, guys, what you have to do is create action. Because something great's about to happen, try to do even more. Use the energy and try to do even more. It's like now, you're seeing this training, and I hope you're excited and you can feel it. When you're done with this training, don't talk to the same 5 people you always talk about that are also part of the accelerator. You say, wow, today was really great. Yeah, today was really great. And you use all that energy to share it with each other. No, don't do that. Use your energy and call your prospects. Use that energy and call your prospects. Build your business. Funnel that energy that you get into productive activity, or set up another call, bring your whole team in it, and then share it. That's why it's good if you take notes. And if you take notes in a way so that you can share it, so you can pass on the information, but not just the information. You pass on the excitement. You pass on the belief. Everything that we should be doing, every single moment of the day, is to instill belief in others about themselves, about the business, about the company, about the products, about the future. And you need to be in a place where you're enthusiastic no matter what. You got this? You wake up in the morning, you don't feel like doing it. Guess what you do? You get excited anyways. You start to talk anyways. You start to show up anyways. And I don't mean a fake excitement. I don't mean a fake type of, okay, I'm just gonna act excited, but I'm really not. You have to fix the internal issue that you understand that your emotion can either serve you or they can hurt you. This is a very, very important lesson, and I hope you took it. So you got it. So the first one is clarity. Provide clarity. Everybody knows what to do. Number 2, be excited. Stay excited. You are the rock in your organization. There was a training many years ago. It was, are you the rock or are you the river? You know, the river just goes like this, you know, the whole time. But the rock's just standing, you know. The rock is you can lean on. And you need to be the rock of your organization. And that is the second part. Now, third one, intensity. And intensity is, even enthusiasm, excitement has intensity. But now what I mean by intensity is in action. Intensity in your action, in your daily discipline. The intensity of how much you do is definitely one of the very, very important ingredients for breakthrough. Because see, you cannot just do something sometimes when you feel excited and expect a radical breakthrough. When we talk about the 90-day run, we talk about just crazy, outrageous amount of intensity. Let me tell you the story. So I'm at the event, GoPro Recruiting Mastery, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. You'll find the video. In fact, that's really funny. You should do it. Go to YouTube and enter Explosive Growth Story with Eric Worre. It's still the very old Network Marketing Pro videos, okay? Explosive Growth Story. And you see me, super skinny and all that, in my suit that's too big. And I'm sharing that story, and I was so nervous because Eric wanted to do that video and all that. And so what happened is, so I'm at the event, and Eric talks about 90 days can change your life. 30 days, I said it again, 90 days can change your life. Did you know 30 days can do too? But that's another day, another topic for another day. No, so 90 days can change your life. That's what he talked about. And I was like, come on, like how? I'm in this for years. Have you ever hit a plateau? Ever hit a plateau and it's kind of annoying and you try to break through? I've been there. In fact, I was there before being at that GoPro Recruiting Mastery for about 16 months. I tried to grow and I couldn't. I was recruiting, I was doing the thing, and I would even say I wasn't just only going through the motions, I was really not doing a totally terrible job, but I was dealing with things. You know, one of my leaders, you know, left, and everybody's like kind of like in a negative, like when you're in this moment, like everybody's doing like the negative talk, and then you do the positive talk, and it's kind of like, you know, drowning in the rain of negativity, and you just keep going, and just somehow, it didn't grow. It didn't grow. I was recruiting my 3-4 people every month. There was always like my number, you know, sponsor one a week. I kind of did that. But really, I tell you, the volume wouldn't grow. And I was a little bit at a point where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, you know? Maybe sometimes you aren't doing anything wrong. Maybe sometimes things don't happen for a year and then they happen in the next 90 days. I promise you. If you think you're doing everything wrong, good for you. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep going, right? But on that particular day, he was talking about 90-day run and how 90 days can change your life. I welcomed that thought with a little bit of skepticism because it felt a little bit like an overpromise to me. But then what he said is, look, how many of you in the room are making $1 million or more? You know Eric, right? And then there was like 13 people back in the day, and they came to the stage, and I had never seen somebody making, you know, that. I mean, I've seen my sponsor and stuff, but I've never like seen a lot of people like that. Oh, I make $1 million a year. I make $2 million. It was big movies for me, right? So, and he asked them, and he said, okay, can you remember a time in your business where you had like a condensed 90 days, 60 day, whatever type of period, where really things got so intense and grew so quickly that still today you can remember it? And everybody was like, yes, I can remember that. Yes, I can remember that. Yes, when we started. Yes, when we launched this thing. Yes. I was like, interesting. I never really thought about that before. And then he asked the question, how many of you, he asked the question, so how much % of your business today would you attribute to that particular time, like today, even if it was years ago? And he passed the microphone, and now I was shocked. People said 80% of my business, 90% of my business, 60% of my business. One guy like all of it. And I was like, what? 90 days? And he attributes all of his business back to that 90 days? I was shocked. And then he asked the magical question. And this question has changed a lot of people's business. And the question was, if your network marketing business is so important to you that you think about it every day, that you dream about it every day, it's like very important, right up there under oxygen, okay? If that's you, how many of that is you? Please let me know. You are like, I gotta make this happen. It's not a small thing, it's everything. Like you wouldn't even be able to say how important it is, it's everything. Because if we figure this out, guys, if we figure out this network marketing thing, it is gonna change your life and your family's life and your generational like family wealth and everything. Exactly. And now comes the question, if that's you, have you ever really, be honest, have you ever really given it 100% of your absolute everything for at least a period of, I don't know, 90 days? Be honest. I'm not talking about 90%, 95%, not even 99%. The difference between 99% and 100% is not 1%. The difference is 100%. Because the difference, like it's a totally different thing. So how come we're on the accelerator? How come we're paying $10,000? How come we're showing up? How come we're dreaming, we're pushing? How come all of this? But then you ask yourself, honest, do I ever given it a real 100%, everything I got for just a limited period? And then we answer the question with no. I was so shocked about myself. Never asked myself that question. Never like looked in the mirror like that, to be honest. Yeah, I've done a lot. I wasn't bad. I was doing a great job, but you know that. You do a great job, you get poor results. Like you do a good job, you get poor results. You do a great job, you get good results. But you need to do outstanding in order to get extraordinary results. Because see, our culture has changed. The 0.1%, they get everything. And you are the 0.1%. Do you know that it is very easy to get to the top? Very easy, not hard. In the moment you build a team of 100 people, you're already, by definition, part of the 1%. It's very, very, very easy. But it's not even good enough. You need to be part of the 0.1%. Better the 0.0001%. And you can do it by dedication and by allowing yourself to play full out, to not dim your light, to not offend anybody else, like Eric says, but to do it. So back in the day, I was like, interesting. I've never really done this. And I started to get curious. Just what if? Just what if you were to take, what do we have now, April? What if you took this month of May and you give it your absolute everything? I'm talking to the point of there's not one phone call in your body, like physically. 16 hours a day. You wake up 8 o'clock in the morning, you finish at midnight. Next day again, next day again, next day again. Not one day and then talk about it, how you did a 16-hour day once. No, do 90 of them in a row. Be so outrageously intensive that it must be so intense that no one would ever dare to expect that from you. But how about you expect that from yourself? One time in your life, it's just an idea, and sorry if I shock one or some of you, but I asked Eric, should I, take the soft or should I just be fully real? And he said, look, if somebody is in the accelerator program, he wants everything. So I'm just giving you the real deal. And the real deal is, you got to give it everything you got. At least that is my recipe for absolute and total breakthrough. You get prepared, you tell your family, look, I got to do this for my business. I got to do this. It's a project it is important to me. If you love me, you need to know I love you too, but I need this time. Support me by letting me do what I got to do just for 90 days. And the thing what I can tell you about 90 days is they're going to pass like this. Look at that. We're already in May. Doesn't it feel like the year just started? In fact, doesn't it feel like that pandemic more or less just started? Do you know we're in this already, I don't know how long, like a year plus already? a year. I'm just talking about 90 days. They're going to pass like that. But I tell you one thing. If you decide to fully harvest the time that is inside a day, and you do it 90 days a day at a time, you will be shocked what's possible. You see, I did this. I had no clue. I didn't have a concept. I didn't have a big strategy. Because you see, the number one follow-up question now from everybody is like, okay, fine, I'll do it. But now, tell me, what should I do? People really want to know, like, what is it that I should do? And to be honest, yes, you got to think about what you're going to do. But it's really not the big question because you already know what to do. Talk to people, make invitations, make presentations, do calls, duplicate, promote the promotions, sell the product, show the plan, create testimonials, share the videos, be active, do what you know what to do what your upline teaches you, do what the system teaches you, but do a lot more of it. I want to give you a specific example that what I did back then, because I was like, I don't even know if I have anybody in my team that would like follow me to do that. Maybe you're in that place that you're like, if I do that, they're probably all going to think I'm crazy, but okay, fine, I don't care, but I don't know if I have anybody that would do that too. You know what? Even better, nobody's going to stop you. And so what I did back then, I said, okay, let me put like a backup plan in case it's going to fail. Like, you know, like kind of like prepare for the worst, but expect the best. So I said, okay, what's the worst case? Worst case is nobody's going to do anything. Everybody's just going to, I don't know, nah, that's too much. I'm going to check out. I'm not doing anything, okay? And I said, okay, what is the things that I can control? You know what I can control? You know what you can control? We can control what we are going to do, right? So yeah, I don't know if my team's going to do it, but what I do know is what I can do. And usually my daily activity was like to make 3 new conversations a day, like 3 new invitations a day. I learned a lot. By the way, if you don't have a daily activity standard, something that you do every day for your business, and it's like a repetitive thing, so it can become a habit, productive activities, then I would really encourage you to do that, because it is amazing how easily we judge our teams for not doing much or for, you know, not working hard. But then in the moment we say, okay, let's put some discipline to the table, how we start to fool ourselves. Like, you know, day 2, oh, now today I really have to, you know, mow the lawn or, you know, clean up or bring out the trash. And instead of just making the invitations, ever been there? Like, you start to love the distraction. Like, we're addicted to distraction. It's crazy. Addicted to distraction. You don't think about it and you find yourself scrolling on Instagram. That's not allowed in a 90-day run. Like, you post something, if you have to, boom, put it aside, keep working. It's really an interesting experience. In any case, I said, okay, let me up my own intensity. Let me do that. And whatever it is, the way you work, I mean, maybe it's a certain amount of, you know, lives you do per day if you're like really heavy on social media. In my thing, it was just, okay, instead of talking to 3 people a day to make a new invitation and then, of course, do the whole thing, the follow-up, the follow-through, the presentation, the closing, the getting started, instead of 3 a day, I'm just going to do 10 a day. For 90 days, I'm just going to do 10 a day. Because, let's do the math. Here's what I love about network marketing. You know, I come from a banking background. Even though I started with 18, I was in a bank, Deutsche Bank, and I love numbers and all this, and I love statistic and case studies and all that. So I said, okay, if I just talk to 10 people a day, I mean, you know the numbers. Come on, you talk to 10 people, 3 people will be interested, 1 person will sign up. I don't care if you have different numbers. Maybe you'll sign up 2. Great. If you're like Mr. Magician himself, you sign up 3. But let's just go with like a base international number that's the same from Iraq to North America, which is 1 out of 10. Okay. And I'm saying Iraq because I have a huge team in Iraq. Can you believe it? Everywhere. Craziest countries. It's unbelievable. We had a stadium of people in Egypt, 24,000 people. It was all our team. Can you imagine that? It's unbelievable. I have so many stories. But anyways, so 1 out of 10 will sign up. 1 out of 10. So if I do 10 a day, that would mean, wait, hold on, what would that mean? Would that mean I'd make a sign up a day? That sounds unrealistic. But then on the other side, have you ever seen anybody do 10 a day? In fact, if you do that 90 days, 10 a day, then that's 900 yourself. Are you getting scared right now? Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Intensity, crazy intensity. Something you've never done in your life. I want you to feel like you just won the Olympic gold medal when you're done, but nobody understands it. I'm talking about an extreme experience. I'm not talking about some little bit network marketing type of dipping your toe into it and like making it look busy. I'm talking about the real thing. Full immersion, total till the point of exhaustion. Somebody would say, oh, but that's not work-life balance. Nope, it's not. It's completely out of balance. It's irrational. It's crazy. You might really be so tired you want to sleep and not be able to sleep for 3 days after that because you kind of did it in those 90 days. Right? That's what I'm talking about. So my backup plan was I'm going to do 10 a day for 90 days. And that's about 900, so let's just round it up to 1,000. And so I'm going to do 1,000 conversations myself. Worst case, like, if I got nothing to do, nobody does anything, I'm going to commit myself to do that if everything goes wrong. And I'm going to enroll more than 100 frontlines in 90 days, and I'm going to be a legend in my company because no one that I met in my life has enrolled 100 people frontline in 90 days, and that's it, done, legend status, got the t-shirt now, whatever comes, right? It's impossible to not break through if you do that. So I felt good about my backup plan, right? So let's check what happened. So first day happens, and I decided to make that big call at night and to tell everybody about it. And yes, of course, give everybody the chance to maybe, pitch in and also do it and kind of like do more and all of that. But that was at night. And so I was like, okay, let me get started with today. And I figured that I'm going to take the first 100, just the first, of course, I didn't even have a list of 1,000 people. That's also important, right? People will say, oh, but I don't have 1,000 contact. It's fine. Just start with the first ones and then figure it out. I mean, worst case, I don't care. Worst case, you take your phone. There's probably a couple of hundred in there. Talk to them. Go to all your Facebook Messenger messages. Like if I scroll to the beginning, I can't even find the beginning anymore. Like I tried to find my very first Messenger communication. I can't even get there. That's people you already talked to. But check how many of those are in your business. Almost no one is, right? So don't tell me you don't know people. You can go on Clubhouse, start talking with somebody that has a few followers, or you can do videos or create content, or worst case, just I don't know. I mean, worst case, just go out and meet people. I don't care. Make it happen. You know what I'm trying to say? So in any case, I decided that morning I'm going to do. And this is very important now. I'm just telling the story. I want to get to this specific point here. And if you get this, you will understand why it is possible to have outrageous results. So I decided I'd take 100 people from my initial list, people that I really wanted to have in my business. Oh, and by the way, let me just tell you that. If you say, oh, but I don't even have 100 to start with. Oh, really? Okay, check this out. So imagine, the genie in the bottle, like Aladdin or something. Okay, so imagine you have this magic situation where it's going to say, look, this is this magic paper. I give you the paper. There's 100 numbers on it, and whoever you write next to those 100 numbers is going to sign up in your business, no questions asked. How many of you would know 100 right now? Tell me the truth. Come on. Come on, everybody would know 100 people. Because now it's like, oh my God, like you're saying there's sign up for sure? Can I have 10 of those papers, please? Right? Come on, don't lie to me. You have 100 people. You're just afraid to talk to them. Oh my God, I got this friend, like he owns this company, like I think he got like 600 employees. Like if he would sign up, I'd put him on my list. Why don't you talk to him? Oh, I'm afraid. Well, you get the point? Okay, so you have 100 people. So I decided I'm going to do this. In Europe, we work a lot with voice messages. I find in the US not too many people do that. I really encourage you to do this because, see, the thing is when you type, it's great. Like it's just my personal feeling. If you type, it's great, but you can't transmit the same type of energy than if they have your voice, right? So I love to make a voice message to people. And kind of what we also teach in our team, at least, is an escalation of communication. First you text, then you voice, then video. Or video call. So text, voice, video. So you intensify the communication. So and I decided that morning I'm going to take the initial 100 and I'm going to make a personalized voice message to each of those 100. So I do 100 voice messages. And just because I told this story before and people always ask, oh, yeah, but what did you say? Let me just give you one example, okay? So I make this voice message and I'd say, Hey Tom, this is Danien. Listen, I know it's early in the morning, you still might be sleeping, but I'm working on this project in my business that is going to be exponential from here on out. This year is going to be huge. And yesterday I did some brainstorming and I was really thinking, who are the most incredible people I know? Who are the people that I could really, truly envision myself working with and do something magic? I mean, if you and I would come together, that would, add up to an exponential momentum opportunity. And I really felt like to send you this message. So if I would send you some information about what it is that I do, so that you really could have a look at, would you watch it? And then we can have a conversation and really talk about it. Let me know, because then I'll send it over to you. And yeah, I'm excited to hear from you, man. I hope you're doing great. Please let me know, because I have this feeling, man, get back to me. Something like this, okay? And could you realize it's a little bit like the GoPro invitation, kind of like the first 4 steps of that, but just in a voice message, right? Something like that. And I did it, but I did it like this. And please, it's not a script. It was just an example. It could be totally different, right? It could be totally different. It could be like, hey, Tina, this is Danien. Tina, listen, I talked to my wife yesterday, and she said she saw your recent post, and you look so great on the pictures. Like, we were talking about it, I don't know, you look super fit, you look glowing, you got, really everything going on, and people are attracted. I mean, your posts are going up, people are commenting. Did you realize, Tina, because my wife and I really realized that yesterday, you're inspiring people. And we really felt like we want to have that conversation with you, because what we do is we help people every day to break through and, to be successful. And we think that if you were to work with us together on this project that we're starting, 1 plus 1 could equal up to 500. So please, let me know when we can talk. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just making this up right now. It could be anything. Whatever works for this person. But here's the thing. So now we did 2 examples. Can you imagine we do 100 examples now? Can you imagine how exhausted you are after doing that? Even every voice message is just like a minute or 2, or even, it's not longer than 2 minutes really ever, like 1 or 2 minutes. But you do 100 of them. It took me about 4 hours. I was sweating. I had to change my shirt. I was walking around in my room for 4 hours. I was like, water, like, you know what I mean? And it was like, that's crazy. And I looked at the time and it's like 11:45 in the morning, like a.m. And I was like, oh, interesting. So I have 3 hours, 45 minutes down of 16 hours of the first day of 90 days. And all of a sudden it hit me. All of a sudden it hit me that nobody has this intensity. Nobody works like this. I'm telling you, nobody does. Nobody in your company does. Nobody of your upline does. Nobody that says they do, they didn't. What if you would? Do you know what I'm trying to say? What if you would? On that day, I realized that I can do more activity in one day that 99% of people will do in an entire month. It is impossible to do in 3 to 4 days more than people will do in a year of network marketing. And if you follow through and you say you're going to finish what you started, you're not going to, after day 3, be like, no, I don't know, nobody's doing anything, I'm getting negative right now. It is impossible to not have massive, massive results. And just don't expect them the first few days. There's a little bit of a delay in it. Like, I had about 2 weeks, more or less the same results, but I had all these conversations going. But the real pickup in volume came like week number 3. And that doesn't sound like much. Oh, like 3rd week, it's cool. Well, after every single day putting in everything I got, right? So it's kind of like, it takes a little bit, but then it's just like, whew, incredible explosion from there. And so then comes to, I had 3 rules, write them down. Number 1 was 100%, okay? 100% passion, energy, being present, 100%. When you talk to some person, be with that person, 100% present, 100% listening. When you speak, 100% energy. It's just 100% concept. You have to put yourself like a paper and you write down 100% in front of you, because you got to remind yourself about 65 times per day that you're supposed to do 100%, because you fall back into like the low state and, oh, I forgot, bam, and you get back into it because you're just not used to it. It's a muscle you have to train to be like this Okay, and to work like this. And I'm not saying be overly hyped. Maybe you feel that with me. It's just the way I am, right? Be you, be authentic, but just be 100% present and put energy and power behind what you say. Okay? First rule, 100%. Second rule, only productive activity allowed. You know, I love reading books. In fact, now I love more audiobooks than books, but in any case, that's great, right? Isn't it? Personal development, very important, but not in the run, because it's not directly resulting in growth or volume. The bottom line is only do things that are directly leading to growth or sales in your organization, just for those 90 days. And what I did, because somebody just wrote in the chat, yeah, but what else did you do the rest of the day? I did something that's called brainstorming, nothing new, you all know what that is, and I put my phone to like a minute or two, boom, countdown, and I just wrote ideas. What can I do? For example, make a call and promote a certain product, get an expert on it, like let's say, if you're like into wellness, for example. Bring a guy that works in a gym, right, as in like the expert, and he's going to talk about how to get the best results with the product. And then everybody get on this call and you do a challenge about, you know, weight loss, for example, right? Another idea that I had was like, okay, you know, in my team, I had new people start every day, but usually I personally wouldn't connect with everybody. But I was like, why not? I could just call up every single day, every single one that signs up and just, you know, say hi, connect with them, talk about the sign-up pack. Maybe they want to upgrade to a bigger one. I mean, could this potentially lead to more belief? Yes. Could that eventually lead to better connection? Yes. Could that lead to more volume? Yes. So why not, right? What else could I do? Oh, I could do a certain incentive. What else could I do? I make a call, talk about the 90-day run. I could make a call and talk exactly about what I learned on the event. What else could I do? Well, I could talk to 10 people a day. What else could I do? I could do all my follow-ups, right? What else could I do? Well, I could call all my customers and ask for a referral. What else could I do? You get it? Your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. If you tell yourself all day long, yeah, but I don't know what I can do. Like I spoke to everyone, like, you know, if people come to me and they say, you know, I did everything really, like I talked to everyone and I've been at all the trainings and I don't really know what to do. And don't you have any like anything else like that I can do? Like, I don't even know how to respond to that. Because you see, it's not about, you could tell him anything, what he could do, but it's not about that. It's about himself, like him telling himself that he doesn't know what to do. And if he doesn't know what to do, then he doesn't know what to do. And even if I tell him what to do, he's going to do that, and then he's going to say, yeah, but I don't know what to do now, right? So don't tell yourself that stuff. Just be creative, and you will be shocked even how long 120 seconds are. If you put your phone to 120-second countdown, and all you do is write, don't think, write. Even on my first list, I'll never forget, I live in Dubai, right? On my first list, it was, well, at that point, I didn't live in Dubai, but now I do. But in any case, on my first list was, find a rich sheikh that's going to buy $100,000 worth of product. Well, that was a shitty idea, but hey, at least it was an idea, and it was on the, I'm not saying everything I wrote down was great, but at least I stayed resourceful. And that's the bottom line here. I hope when you listened to Tony Robbins, when he was speaking at the GoPro, he was talking about the story that he asked a really high net worth, influential type of people in the room, tell me something why you failed. And they said, we didn't have the money, we didn't have the time. And then Al Gore said he didn't have enough, what was it called, Supreme Court votes or something. I'm not familiar with the US system. In any case, he didn't have enough votes, right? And then Tony was, interesting. And the whole room was laughing. And he said, but you guys are all wrong. It wasn't that you didn't have the right contact or not enough budget or not enough time or not enough votes. Those are all resources that you're telling me about, a lack of resources. But the lack of resources was never the problem. It was the lack of your resourcefulness to find solutions for the lack of resources. Meaning, if you say, oh, I couldn't do the 90-day run because I didn't have 900 contacts, well, then that means that you weren't resourceful enough to find 900 contacts. Do you know, that is the difference of giving the blame and therefore giving the power and losing the ability to create yourself rather than taking responsibility for everything. I'm going that far today. I'm saying the leader takes responsibility for things that even aren't his own fault. But if you take responsibility, guys, if you're the man, the woman that will handle the problems, if you're the one taking charge, you're in control. You can grow. And if you take 120 seconds to write down all the ideas, you will find after like a few seconds, 25, 28, 38 seconds, you'll run out of ideas for a second. Like, that's interesting. That was just 30 seconds. 120 seconds is so long. And this is this like the experience of time is really subject to how focused you are and what you're doing. And therefore, if I think about in my brain today about a 90-day period, it is almost an eternity. You can build. Do you want to know my results? I went from $6,000 to $100,000 in the last 4 weeks. It ended after 55 days. At that point, when I got into the run, I was paid. I had a rank that I wasn't paid at. I was paid 5 levels below. Can you imagine? And my biggest dream was to just get back to my paid rank. I ended up not only getting back to that rank, but jumping the next one and taking the next one. So my paid rank went up by 7 ranks. My compensation plan rank not only jumped to the next one, which already was very high, but to the one after that. And it was all just created out of pure intensity, 100%, only focus, rule number 2, on productive activity, and rule number 3, I stayed resourceful every day, sometimes multiple times a day. I quickly zoned out 2 minutes, wrote down what else can I do without, don't start to do stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, use common sense. I'm not asking you to reinvent how your business works, but just to stay resourceful on what it is that you can do. And then I figured, because I have all the time in the world, because all I'm doing is building the business, I don't have to decide. Because you see, normally it would be like, okay, I really could, like one thing, this really happened. So in the middle of the run, I was like, my aunt doesn't even know what I'm doing. It was like a random thought. My aunt, like the sister of my mom, she doesn't really know what I'm doing. I was like, I should really call her. And it didn't seem like this very high priority item on my list. So normally I would always put it aside. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll call her. When I'll see her, I'll talk to her, right? Because it just doesn't seem so important. It didn't seem so important to me. But in the run, what I decided is every thought that I have that makes sense and that could lead to growth, I'm just going to go do it. It's like, if you're, like imagine I'm not fishing, okay? I'm not a fisher. I've never been a fisher, but I'm just imagining it kind of like this. If I am on a fishing boat and there's all the different, oh my God, how do you call these things? That you know what I mean, right? Angles? No. In German, it's an Angel. Eine Angel. A rod. Thank you, Sandro. So it's a rod, okay? So imagine you have all these different fancy rods, and you're like, okay, which rod am I going to take? Well, that one's better than this one. And like normally, you would choose like the best rod that you would like think is great, and you would throw it. What I want you to do is be like a little bit like a crazy person and just take the first one, put it in, take the second one, put it in, take the third one, put it in, and the next one, put it in, and the next one, put it in. And then you find a fisher net. Oh, who would have thought? And you take the whole net and you throw it out as well. And then there is another guy working on the boat and he's just cleaning the floor. And you're like, hey, why don't you also throw some rods out? And you just really maximize every single opportunity that you have. Because why? Because you got nothing else to do than that. You're going to do everything you can, anything. And don't forget, 100%. Don't forget to put water. Don't forget to keep your phone charged, because it's going to be off. Your phone's getting the shock of his life. It's never been used that much. Your screen time is going to show 16 hours a day. Okay, I hope you get the feeling. So when I did that, when I ended the last day, day 55, I got the volume in. I felt like a rock star, and I was so tired. Just wanted to sleep. So I stopped after 55 days because I really figured, okay, I'm not gonna, this was more than, no one even had taken this rank. It was crazy. And I wanted to go to sleep. I couldn't sleep because I hadn't slept before. It's funny, 55 days, all I wanted was sleep, and then I could sleep and I couldn't sleep. So I was like, okay, let me go for breakfast. And it was like in the morning, I had to wait for my back office to update the numbers, to hit the rank. And I got the rank. I was like, oh my God. Like, what are my parents going to say if I show them like a weekly check of $46,000? Can you imagine today, between my wife and I, sometimes we have weeks that are $200,000 in 1 week. But that 46 back then, that was crazy. So I put on my sunglasses and I walked out in Wuppertal, Germany. It's like a little town, like everybody would go to work or something. And I remember having eggs for breakfast, and I looked around. I was like, Y'all have no idea what I just did the last 55 days. I made more money in 55 days than my dad does in 2 years. Completely unprepared from one event. I woke up that morning at Eric's event like any day. He talked about the 90-day run. I didn't expect it. I wasn't asking for it, but I was ready. 55 days later, my life was changed. It was changed for the fact, like I said in the beginning, not because I did that and I got that one result. No, because I knew from that day, whenever I would need it, I could pull that stop one more time. And I could do this one more time. And last year, 2020, when the pandemic hit and when all the shutdowns and lockdowns came, and I found myself kind of looking at the infection rates every day for the COVID, I was like, hold on, what's happening? Let's stop this right now. Let's take a whole organization. Let's give a new narrative. Let's make like a network market. Like I want the calendar. I want every day in the calendar. I want Zoom meetings. I want special guests. I want to talk about it. I want opportunity presentation. I want people so heavily plugged in that they don't even have time to watch the news. And it turned into this thing. And then and as I said, okay, this is time. This is the new 90-day run. Like we're going to do it one more time. And in 2015, the company I was with got acquired into the company that I'm with now, and there was more than 2 million distributors that came over from that company to that company, and I was just distributor number 369,000. 369,000 or something. I wasn't like at the top or anything. And last year, within less than 90 days, it was March, April, May. I hit a rank, which in our thing is called Triple Diamond. The only reason I'm telling you that, not a single person from more than 2 million distributors that came over in that acquisition, all the way up to the master distributor, has made that. No one. Me. I did it. And I say that not to say how great I am, but just to really impress upon you that when you are ready to take decisions like that, doors open you wouldn't believe. Energy comes you didn't know was there. Resources, contacts, ideas, creativity, power will emerge you will never have access to before you take a decision like that. And I hope and I pray that this training today is going to mark a milestone in your business, that I could inspire some of you to think bigger, to play full out. And now I hope this has a new meaning to you now after this training. And I thank you so much for listening. I thank you so much for being part of the accelerated program, to pushing up the network marketing profession. I definitely do not want to forget to say hi for my wife. She told me to tell everybody hello. She's proud of you. She loves this group, and I'm so blessed really with her to have a network marketing rock star with me that is also pushing me in all the areas where I don't know, where I'm not good at. And I think together it's really the magic. And Eric just stepped in. He's like, you got 45 minutes to an hour, and I think I'm like crushing all his daily agenda. So I guess I'm done. Thank you very much. If you want more, request from Eric that you want more. And anyways, really love you guys. Let's crush it. Let's make it happen. Anything is possible. Big year 2021. I'm nervous every single day. My nights get shorter. I kind of feel it's time for a new run. So let's make it happen. All the best, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
This was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. fun to